It's 2:43 a.m. The entire world feels asleep, but your mind suddenly feels more awake than ever. Your room is dark. Your phone screen is glowing. You tell yourself you'll sleep in 5 minutes, but somehow your brain starts replaying old memories, imaginary conversations, future fears, and random deep thoughts you never think about during the day. If this feels familiar, then you might not just be a late sleeper. Psychology says night owls often experience the world differently from everyone else. And in today's video, we're diving into the strange psychology of people who stay awake at night, including shocking brain facts, hidden personality traits, mind tricks, and creepy psychological experiments that explain why your brain changes after midnight. Picture a sticky figure sitting alone near a window while the city lights glow outside. The clock hits 3 a.m., and suddenly their brain becomes louder than the entire world around them. Psychologists believe the human brain behaves differently at night because distractions disappear. During the day, your attention is constantly attacked by noise, people, notifications, responsibilities, and movement. But at night, silence gives your thoughts room to breathe. That's why many night owls become extremely creative after dark. Writers create stories. Musicians find melodies. Gamers enter focus mode. Overthinkers create entire imaginary futures in their heads. But here's the strange part. Studies suggest people who naturally stay awake late often score higher in creative thinking and abstract imagination. Their brains are more likely to challenge routines and think outside traditional patterns. In simple words, night owls often think differently from the crowd. But every strength comes with a cost, because the same brain that becomes creative at night also becomes emotionally dangerous. Have you ever noticed how problems feel bigger after midnight? A text message suddenly feels personal. A small mistake becomes embarrassing. A memory from 5 years ago randomly attacks your brain. That happens because your emotional processing becomes stronger when your mind is tired. Your logical thinking slowly weakens, while emotions become louder. Imagine a sticky figure lying in bed staring at the ceiling while giant floating thoughts circle around them like ghosts. What if I fail? What if nobody truly understands me? What if I ruin my future? The scary part is, your brain treats these thoughts like real threats even when nothing is actually happening. And now for a shocking psychology fact. Researchers discovered that loneliness feels more intense at night than during the daytime. Your brain naturally becomes more emotionally sensitive in darkness, which is why late-night sadness feels so real. This is also why people often become more honest after midnight. Think about it. Deep conversations usually happen late at night. People confess feelings, reveal secrets, and say emotional things they would never say during the day. Psychologists call this reduced emotional masking. Basically, during the daytime, your brain constantly filters emotions to help you function socially. But late at night, that filter becomes weaker, and the real personality underneath slowly appears. Now let's test your personality with a quick psychological challenge. Imagine you're walking alone at night, and suddenly hear footsteps behind you. What would you do first? Option A, turn around immediately. Option B, pretend not to notice and walk faster. Option C, grab your phone and call someone. If you chose A, you likely confront stress directly and react emotionally fast. If you chose B, your brain avoids conflict and prefers escape over confrontation. If you chose C, you seek emotional safety through connection and support. Psychologists believe our first reaction under pressure often reveals hidden personality patterns. Now here's another strange night owl trait. People who stay awake late tend to overanalyze social situations more deeply. For example, someone replies with "okay," and suddenly your brain creates 20 different theories. Are they mad? Did I say something wrong? Why was the reply so dry? A sticky figure stares at a phone while dramatic imaginary scenes appear around them like a movie. Your brain hates uncertainty. So when information is incomplete, it starts creating stories to fill the gaps. And honestly, night brains are experts at creating stories. But things become even darker when sleep deprivation enters the picture. One experiment found that people who stayed awake too long became more emotionally reactive, more anxious, and more suspicious of others. Even harmless comments started feeling offensive. In other words, lack of sleep slowly changes the way your brain interprets reality. That's why emotional decisions made at 3 a.m. are usually dangerous. Late-night texting, impulse shopping, messaging your ex, suddenly deciding to change your entire life. At night, emotions drive the car while logic sits quietly in the back seat. Now here's something creepy. Have you ever felt like you saw a face in the darkness? Maybe a shadow looked human for 1 second. Maybe your brain imagined movement in the corner of your room. That's actually a survival mechanism. The human brain is designed to detect possible threats in darkness. When visual information is unclear, your mind fills the gaps automatically, even if nothing is really there. Your brain would rather create a fake danger than miss a real one. Now let's do one final personality test. Imagine there's a button in front of you. If you press it, every painful memory in your life disappears forever. Would you press it? If your answer is yes, your mind probably craves peace more than emotional growth. If your answer is no, you likely believe your pain shaped your identity and made you stronger. Psychologists say people who accept painful memories usually develop deeper self-awareness over time. And maybe that's why night owls feel different from everyone else. Because while the world sleeps, they think. They replay conversations, analyze emotions, imagine futures, question reality, fight silent battles nobody else can see. The night gives them creativity, but also overthinking. It gives them focus, but also loneliness. And maybe that's the real psychology of staying awake late. So if you're someone whose mind becomes most alive after midnight, comment "night brain" below. Because sometimes people don't stay awake at night because they want to. Sometimes their thoughts simply refuse to let them sleep.